Hello everyone, I'm here with the second poem of the Treasure Trove, and this is The Cold Within by James Patrick Kinney. James Patrick Kinney was an American poet, and at first, Cold Within was a poem which was rejected, but slowly, when its meaning was understood, it became quite popular and is also recommended highly by all the English laureates of today. It is an act and attack against race, religion, caste, gender, and ethnicity. So, here I have the explanation of the poem. So, the first paragraph here is saying six humans trapped by happenstance in bleak and bitter cold, each one possessed a stick of wood, or so the story is told. Now, here the poet is creating a situation where he is saying six humans were trapped by chance in bleak and bitter cold, and each one of them possessed a log of wood, a stick of wood, and this is how the story is told. Means this is what the story revolves around. The dying fire in need of logs, but the first one held hers back. For of the faces round the fire, she noticed one was black. Now, actually, we can easily interpret that here we have a fire in bleak and bitter cold where six humans are trapped, and so each of them possesses a log of wood. And the fire, in order to burn and not extinguish, needs logs of wood. So here each of them has to contribute their log of wood to keep the fire burning and to save their lives as well as the lives of the other people. So now the dying fire which is in front of them is in need of logs, but the first person of the six people hails her log of wood back. She keeps it with her and does not give it off because she notices a black among the group of six people. This means she was a racist, and she was just like she did not prefer anyone with a dark complexion. So she held her back because she was quite a prejudiced, discriminant towards all the dark complexioned people, and so she hated them so much that she did not even want to give off a log of wood to the fire which could keep even her alive. Then the next man looking across the way saw one not of his church, and could not bring himself to give this fire his stick of birch. Now another man, the next man in the group, he's refusing to give up his log of wood because when he looks around, he finds one not of his religion. Here, church means religion. And so, seeing the person not of his religion, he keeps the log of wood with himself. So, you can notice that how these people do not consider themselves before their hatred. Their hatred is of prime importance for them. So they're even neglecting themselves, their lives, for their hatred. The third one sat in tattered clothes. He gave his coat a hitch. Why should his log be put to use to warm the idle rich? Now the third is a person who's sitting in torn clothes, and he gives his coat a hitch. Means he just tries to fasten his coat. Why should his log be put to use to warm the idle rich? So, among the six people, he notices a rich person, and he, being poor, does not like the rich. And so, he wants that his log of wood should not be donated to warm a rich person because he hates rich people since he's poor. This is the amount of hatred stored in him that he's not thinking about the fact that he would also die if he does not give up his log of wood, but he is just considering the fact that the log of wood would warm even the rich, someone whom he dislikes. The rich man just sat back and thought of the wealth he had in store and how to keep what he had earned from the lazy, shiftless poor. Now, basically, again, the rich man is just sitting and he's engrossed in the thoughts of the fact that how would he keep off his wealth. Here, wealth here means the log of wood basically for him at that moment of time. So, he also does not want to give up his log of wood for the poor person, the person who's just sitting beside him. He dislikes the poor, therefore, he does not want to give up his log of wood to warm the poor. Then we have the black man's face bespoke revenge as the fire passed from his side, for all he saw in his stick of wood was a chance to spite the white. Now again, the black man is one of the 6 people, and he is not he the reason behind his not giving his log of wood is that he notices a white person, means he notices a woman who's um, white complexioned, fair complexioned, and he does not want to give up his log of wood to that lady. He again is holding a grudge, a sort of, and has prejudice inside him, hatred inside him for the lady. The last man of this forlorn group did no except for gain. Giving only to those who gave was how he played the game. Now, forlorn group here basically means forlorn means isolated. Being it a group, still it was isolated because the people lacked warmth in their hearts for each other. They lacked the basic kindness, love, and compassion in them for each other. And so, the last man of this group only thought of his gain, and he thought that he would not get anything in return if he gives off his log of food, and so he kept it with him. So, this was his selfishness, and finally and ultimately, the fire dies off, and all these people die. The logs held tight in dead still hands was a proof of human sin. They did not die from cold without, they died from cold within. So this basically means that even when they died, the logs were held tightly in their hands, and this shows what sort of hatred those people had in their hearts for each other. Because of some or the other prejudice and discrimination, all of them lost their lives, and this is how they committed the sin of letting others die and also dying themselves. And this was all because of the coldness within their hearts. It was not because of the cold weather at that point of time, because if they would have had certain warmth and certain means they did not hold any sort of hatred against each other, they would have contributed their logs of wood and would have survived. But it was their mind which compelled them. It was the coldness within their heart which compelled them to keep back their logs of wood, and so all of them met a tragic end and they perished. So, this is the explanation. Please do subscribe and like the video, and if you have any sort of doubts or suggestions, then please do mention them in the comment box. Thank you.